Hey everyone, hope you all had a great weekend. Thanks for joining me on October 23rd. And as always, we are not financial advisors, and everything you see in here is for educational purposes only. Alright, let's get started with BTC. And you know what? It's pushing up. I thought this would be our little top in this little area, like kind of like hold here and start pushing back down to test at least the bottom trend line and maybe come back down to this, but we're pushing up slowly. Now, in this scenario, it's actually pretty good. For the alternate in a sense, because usually when Bitcoin goes up, the alts don't go up with Bitcoin. Some of them are not too bad. Obviously, XRP had its little pump, so it's like, but it's still holding on the trend line. It's a little bit above, so that's a good sign. H bar pushing up a little bit, XLM a little bit. We have Rose, Doge. Doge is actually having a pretty good day today. And again, the money from Starlink might be flowing over here, like I mentioned the other day. Let's see. Sui's still not doing that good. But if we go to like some of the bigger players, like let's say Link. Link actually pushed pretty good. It's holding back down now. So it might come back down to support. Like it just had a little bit extra momentum because again the whole market was a little bullish. So we'll have to keep an eye on Link. Because again, I don't want to buy if it's over in I guess the oversold area. I'd rather have in the overbought area and buy in the oversold. So we'll see how Link plays out to see if we stay above it or not. But you don't want to buy when it's a bunch of green candles though. That's always a bad time to buy. Same thing. Matic has had a nice little pushback up. Iotech, Shiba, not so much. Some of these coins have not. I mean, they're still down, right? They came back up, but again, we've seen that before. Look over here and over here. So, like I posted just a minute ago. We'll buy the corrections. Don't FOMO in just because everything's pushing up a little bit. It's not that big of a deal. Again, we pushed up nicely over here, dropped, we pushed back up again, completely dropped. So this could be the same scenario where it's like, yeah, pushed up, but don't FOMO too much. With Solana, it's going back up to its previous high, but it has that support over here. So we'll see how this holds. So there's like the support here. So that might come back down and retest this trend line again. We'll keep an eye on it. Again, I'm not trying to buy Solana. I'd rather buy a couple other things. Ethereum pushing up again. But I can still see this drop back down. I don't know. It's just me. I don't let these little like waves back up and get me super excited. Because as soon as, little things like this happen, people are like, oh, guys, we're going to pump. We're going to have a little rally and this and that. But it's like, then we still dump back down, right? So it's like I'm still not convinced. This honestly looks like one of the famous patterns Bitcoin does, where it goes like this, goes up one last time, and then completely dumps, and then we'll go to close to our target. I'm not gonna go too far into depth on that because again, this is more of like the Monday free update. Phantom though, that's a nice little pump right there. This is the ones where it's like, you might want to maybe take a little profit. This is what we wanted a while back when we knew we were gonna do this drop on Bitcoin, this big old drop here. We wanted the alts to push up so we could take some profits, but it never did. Unfortunately, I did miss it last time and it didn't drop anymore. It actually went, instead of going sideways and dropping, it actually went up. So I missed that call. Going back to everybody else. Again, nice little push up, which is a good sign. Usually when Bitcoin goes up, the alts don't go up. And then when Bitcoin comes back down, the rest of the alts dump. But at this point, like when it drops, it'll just drop maybe back to even. So a lot of the coins, this will come back down somewhere to down here. It won't be like, oh, when Bitcoin dumps, the rest of the coins are going to do a crazy drop. And again, like I mentioned before, if when we're down here, like even if we don't drop now, Bitcoin has that thing where it usually drops either a little bit before or after the halving. So if we push up, we'll just have the drop later on later on in the coming months. So we have plenty of time to still DCA. Even though it pushed up and some of the alts are pushed up, they're always going to have corrections, and we'll buy every single correction. We're not going to buy when everything is green, right? We're not going to FOMO into things. Because look what happened with Starlink, right? I talked about how, there's really not too much news about it. Like, Starlink is like a weird, odd pump. I talked about how, like, hey, look, it's been support area. It broke a little bit above, but then dropped right back down. Right now, whoever got into Starlink in the last last few I guess hours though, not days, it's now down like 55%. Imagine you FOMO'd in at the end, and you know people did because it pumped it that much. You FOMO'd in and it dumped 55. Now, if we close this big red candle, this is going to be a really good sign that it's done. Because each other time, look at how the candle closed. They closed it really weak little candles. If we close a strong one, that means it's pretty much done and it's not going to be below support. You know, one of our members yesterday talked about how, like, you know, he was watching it and he turned away for like 12 seconds, turned back, and this thing completely dumped. So that's the thing about these things. I've always talked about how, like, hey, when this thing dumps, it's going to go fast. And keep in mind, if this closes a big strong candle, that's going to be a sign to get out. And you might, if you haven't gotten out, you might want to get out. Because this is what I was talking about. Like, yeah, it keeps going up, and like you feel that FOMO, like it keeps going up. But when it dumps, it's going to dump faster than it's going up. Right? It's going to keep going, like it's just going to crash. And keep in mind, these guys already said, like, look, you know, a member posted that the team said in Telegram, like, look, like, this thing doesn't have use case. It's just a meme coin, right? This is why they're building another token. And you guys already know how I feel when a company, a meme coin, builds another token. It's another way of telling you, hey, we're gonna abandon this project and go somewhere else. Oh, look at this. Technically, we need to come all the way back down. So it's gonna go all the way back down, like I've mentioned before, because of this. This thing's gonna crash all the way back down. So from where it's at now, another 90% because of this. And I'll go over that in one of the other videos. But look at what I just noticed. Elon is pumping. Oh, guess what? Technically, oh look, these are the ones that hit. So that actually hit the target. So that's going to dump 45%. It pushed up, went down, pushed up, and slowly came back down to that area. That's funny. But at this area, it's actually holding and it broke above now. So the money from Starlink, I said it would probably flow into Doge. I was actually wrong. Elon might be the next one. See, they're pumping this. So if you have like Starlink and you don't want anymore, you might want to get into Elon and maybe write it up and then sell it after a little bit. But the problem is, because we're not like in a bull market yet, like there's not that momentum, right? Like it's such a gamble right now. But that, you know, that's totally up to you. If you want to jump into Elon, see if it pumps 100%, you just doubled your money and then jump out or something like that. But again, that's gonna be a risky move. But going back to dollars, just kind of going sideways again. It's good though, because we're building support to push back up to 110. Going back to BTC again, it's pushing up, but I don't know, it's like it's almost kind of holding. But again, it has a lot of support in this area. We would have to break out above previous high to know, like, okay, cool, like it's breaking the pattern. It'll probably go up a little higher to like 33 maybe, 34 maybe. All depends on how it holds here, because we already know here we're still below our channel line. 4 hours, we touched the top 4 times now, so we're due for the bottom. In the past, it's done 4, and then it comes down to the bottom. It's done 4. Need to come to the bottom, which will be 29,598. And the hourly, again, we've touched the top twice, so we have to come back down to at least 30. So short term is 30 to 60. A little bit longer term would be 29,585. 29,585. See, so 29,585 will be the trend line. So we should come back down to this trend line again. Oh, you know what this reminds me of? What? I mean, this could technically be, I'm not a big fan of it, but here's your like Elliott wave. Here's the 5. And they always say the 3rd is like the biggest one. I always feel like the 5th one is the biggest one. So that's your Elliott wave there. So once this pushes back down, that could be it. On top of that, pattern wise, Pattern wise, actually I see this like 1, 2. There's the 3 there. Did like a weak little ABC. So I can see like this come back down, go sideways, drop back down to this trend line, and that's like 28,260. So that's what like we'll that's where we'll like DCA if that plays out. For now, we're gonna have to keep watching it because I know it's still like kind of holding it. We'll have to like really break out. So we'll see if we continue to push back up. But it pushed up a little bit before. That's what I'm kind of thinking. I'm not a big fan of the Elliott whip, but that actually looks like that right there. So we'll see how we play out today. Again, right now it looks like it's trying to just go sideways, not doing much. That's hourly. Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting today how it works. But we've been pumping every Sunday night. Where's the last Sunday night? Yeah, see, last night we pumped up and then continue to push up. Sunday night we pushed back up. So that's kind of interesting. 3 Sundays in a row we pushed up. So that means the next one should push down. Alright, I'll see everybody in the next update. Now, if you're trying to get more information on the market, if you want to stay up to date with the market or just looking for a good community, in the description below, I did post my link to my website, which is tindicator.com. In here, you can find a link to Ko-fi or Patreon, which will give you access to the premium side of this channel and group. So I have 2 levels. I have that really stand out. You know, I have the peace of mind and I have the edge. And the reason I named these names is because it's kind of what you get out of it, right? On the peace of mind, you do get peace of mind when it comes to the market. You know, you're not going to be surprised. You're not going to be shocked with what's going on. You know, just the other day, I sent out an alert on a signal talking about, hey, the market looks like it's going to dump. Somebody like triggered something that kind of lets me know, hey, there's going to be a big drop. And, you know, 15 minutes later, big old drop happened. And then the same thing happened back over here. So nobody in the room's like, oh, surprise, oh, we dropped back down, right? And this is why I call it peace of mind, because you do get that peace of mind out of it. Then I have the edge tier, which the reason I call it edge, because you get the edge on the market, right? You're not just going to be blindly going into the market and not knowing what's going to happen. And I'm going to go over these tiers right now. So with the, sorry, I almost said edge, but with the peace of mind, you get access to the crypto room here. Edge also includes this, but you just get a little more. So you get, you know, access to market updates. We have our general chat. We have our crypto chat where everybody talks about what's going on. We have daily play. This is where I post all of my stuff. So my stuff won't get buried in, you know, a chat room where no one can see it. For the edge tier, you actually get access to the Zoom scheduler. So you can actually schedule one-on-one Zooms with me so we can go over your portfolio, you know, certain coins you're interested in and you just weren't sure about it. You know, some people have had issues with their wallets. I help them recover that. I've had people who just want to vent. You know, sometimes we just talk about certain things and, you know, it helps them calm with the market, you know, so they're not too upset with what's going on. You know, maybe they got into a meme coin that's down 95% or anything like that. So it's really cool, and a lot of my members love this. We also have the newsroom where we post, you know, newsworthy information. Planned orders is where you can see what people are buying or selling. We have our group Zooms every now and then. Hidden gems room where people post, you know, unique coins that are just coming out. Passive income room for, you know, staking and all that stuff. We have a marketplace where people are buying and selling from each other. Tips and links in here. So there's a lot of links for like good, cool YouTube videos that you can watch about stop losses, you know, technical analysis. In here's where I always put the newest Signal link. And the Signal link is one thing I recommend for everybody, because this is where I'll send you emergency alerts. Like if I see the market's about to dump, I will send a message here that's separate from all your other messaging apps. So that way, you know, because a lot of people like to keep everything else muted, because sometimes, you know, people are posting too much, and this is the one that you can leave on, and this will let you know, like, hey, this is an emergency, like, hey, we're about to pump, we're about to dump, or hey, you know, something big is going to happen. Then we have charts where you can actually see what people are requesting. If you're on the edge tier, you're allowed to actually request. If you are on the, you know, peace of mind, you can only view what other people are requesting, but here you can actually request all the coins you want to see. So I post them here, corresponding to the alphabet. And some of these would be like this. Someone talked about 1. Well, now you know that 1 has to drop back down to 0.013. So if you were looking to buy this coin, I would suggest waiting until it drops to that price before getting in. Because you don't want to get in and it's going to drop back down to this price. And now you would have wished you held off. So you get that advantage, you get that edge right off the market, because now you know when to get in and when not to get in. Another one that we were talking about, and I actually need to do a separate video on this because I didn't add it to the main video, but down here I mentioned, hey, so a member actually showed us this coin, and down here I mentioned, hey, you know what, this thing's about to take off. And it did take off. Once we were up here to this area, I was like, hey, you know what, this could probably be the top. And I drew this area here where we can drop back down to, and look, we barely missed it before it came back up. Now I'm going to update them on this shortly. And then down here we have, a place for woo-woo in case you're into conspiracy stuff or anything like that. We have a astrology room. We have a spiritual room. And then we have 2 other rooms right here. These are our little kept secrets. We won't go into that too much. We also have a free trading room. So if you know anybody that actually is into trading, also the link is in the description below. If you're on the edge tier, you actually get an additional room where it gives you additional coins instead of just the free ones. But yep, that kind of breaks down my 2 levels of the premium. So again, if you want to stay up to date, I suggest joining us. We have a really good community. Everybody helps everybody out here. Nobody FOMOs, nobody's upset, nobody, is shocked by what's going on with the market. I've had members even tell me, like, sometimes it's kind of boring because we already know what's going to happen, right? There's not that like feeling of like not knowing what's going to happen tomorrow, right? It's like, oh, what's going to happen? Is it going to go up? It's going to go down? We kind of already know what's going to go, like, right? And if we know we're going to drop and it goes up, we know it's going to come right back down. So if you made it this long, thank you for staying this long, and maybe I hope to see you in the room.